Good evening and welcome to Failure to Stop podcast channel. Tonight is society and culture news, all things society and culture, so that you have something else to talk about all week other than dead babies and domestic violence. We have been off for 2 weeks. It was Labor Day weekend, and then I was on my vacay cruise. I was gone for 9 days. It was a lot. But my social battery is drained and my podcast battery is at capacity. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Where's Margaret? Where's comedian Jay Durrell? Comedian Margaret, comedian Jay Durrell. Where are they? Well, we're living through a hurricane, a real life hurricane, the remnants of a hurricane. But it's still, regardless, it is extremely nasty outside. They did not chicken out on tonight's show. I literally texted them and I say, it's not worth the biscuit to risk it. I said, it's too gross. It's yucky. It's sideways rain. It's been raining since 8 a.m. We've got flooding going on everywhere, all across the state. And I said, don't do it. Don't risk it for the little tiny biscuit. I can handle this all by myself. I don't like to handle it by myself, but I'll do it. I don't mind. I'm not afraid. Speaking of, but one thing I'm not doing alone is the October 18th comedy show at Tactical Brewing Company with comedian Margaret and Jay Durrell White. I won't do it alone. I refuse. I think this is going to be an amazing show. It's all for Shell Shock, the anti-hero podcast guys. Lots and lots of special guests lining up. Eddie Gallagher, Kyle Rittenhouse, a bunch of other shooter gun bunny influencers, and the list goes on. And of course, there's lots of music going on. Evergreen Terrace, that's on the 19th. We are all staying at the Sheraton North in Orlando. So make sure you get your tickets. Actually, the tickets are free, except for the comedy show at Tactical Brewing Company. But Shell Shock is free. Get your hotel room booked. We want to see you there. We even have like an after party scheduled for all of us to hang out. So please fly your butts down to Orlando, October 18th and 19th for a Failure to Stop Fox Media anti-hero podcast. 2 Cops, 1 Donut Shop podcast, a palooza. All right. Got that out of the way. Tonight, I will be going over a lot of celebrity deaths this week in the last couple of weeks. Jackson 5's Tito's gone, but not forgotten. James Earl Jones definitely gone, but not forgotten. Got Kelly Osborne. By the way, if you haven't seen Kelly Osborne lately, what? We'll talk all about it. Of course, if you don't know who James Earl Jones is, well, hurt yourself this evening. Also, this strange story about Biden wearing a Trump hat. We'll see what that does for society and culture. And then the big kind of topic I want to finish it off tonight with, and I've been talking about it on Fox FAWKES News. If you're not over there yet, taking my quick takes over on FAWKES News, is just like very short formatted YouTube videos on news, breaking news. I've been talking a lot about this battle of endorsements between Trump and Kamala. It's like we've got this weird new celebrity battle of endorsements going on, and it's very strange, but it is heating up rather quickly, and it's actually bringing another part. It's bringing some more drama to the political arena, and I don't know if it makes politics more entertaining, or if it's hurting politics, if it's helping politics. I don't know. I'll use you guys to answer in the chats if you think that this whole celebrity mingling battles and feuds over endorsements is good for politics, it's bad for politics. Either way, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and I can't wait to dive into all this with you and hear what you have to say in the chat. So let's go. Without further ado, tonight's show brought to you by ghostbed.com/wolfpack and factormeals.com/wolfpack50. Let's go.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Guns up, giddy up. It's time for some society and culture news. I love news in general. I'm having a lot of fun doing the news, especially with all of you guys. And I hope to build all these news channels so that we can have more live chats and we can have more live fun. So I'm going to need your help in the live chats today to keep me On track and in the right path. Tyler S. in the chats. Armory Knight. Comedian. Margaret Owens. Hasn't changed her name. It just says Margaret Owens in the chats, but it's not Margaret Owens. That isn't Margaret. It's comedian Margaret in the chats, actually. Amber, 4H with 4H says it's good for politics in the sense of people buy what celebs endorse, but that's dumb because people won't vote for what they believe in necessarily. They will vote for what the celebrity promotes. That is an interesting take, and I'm not going to say you're wrong there. I would also say there's an argument that it is absolutely going to get people to vote, and I guess endorsements go both ways. And so we're going to look at tonight a bunch. Literally, listen, I'm not being hyperbolic here. It is a battle of endorsements. We had a lot of really bonkers endorsement news last week. I covered it on Fox. I'm going to cover it more in depth here. And then it has just kind of spiraled out of control. And now we actually have like celebrities like Lil Pump tweeting at Taylor Swift typing at Brittany Mahomes. So, I mean, there is like this kind of like drama lure to it. Also, Usher getting involved, Patrick Mahomes getting involved. So we're going to cover all of that. But before we do, who is your favorite Jackson 5? Who is your favorite out of Jackson 5? Now, the reason why I asked this is because if you remember Kamala Harris and one of her very first interviews while she was a vice president, well, she's still a vice president, but while she was like, before they had kind of swept Biden out, kicked him out or whatever they did to him. I'm not exactly sure what happened there with the whole Biden Kamala thing. And we'll get into it because Biden had this whole hat incident. So a lot of people are saying with this hat incident, there's no way this guy's running the country. But Kamala's like really going at it on this campaign trail. So like really, who is running the country? I think we should all be asking that, right or left, right? Like, has anybody stopped to say, wait a minute, if Kamala is like headstrong on the campaign trail and Biden is off on Lululand, then who's running the country right now? And who has been running the country? I think that's an interesting question. But before all of that, going way back to when Kamala was first getting on the scene years ago, this was a couple of years ago, she went on Ellen DeGeneres. And Ellen wanted to get to know Kamala. She wanted to get to know all about Kamala. And she asked, who was your celebrity crush? Now, I will ask you in the chats, since you're here, who is your celeb crush? Go ahead really quick. I need it like super ASAP fast in the chats. Give me your celebrity crush without thinking about it. You shouldn't have to think about it. You should be able to just put it in the chats. So Margaret Owens. Okay. Amber HH says Adam Sandler. Margaret, who's your celebrity crush? Go. Let me hear it. No, I don't need any other banter. Tyler S. I need all the guys in the chats to give me your celebrity crush. Let me tell you mine. Jane Seymour. Don't even have to think about it. It's Jane Seymour. Is that weird? She's like in her 70s. She's like 74. Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. I don't know. Love her. Loved her from Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Thought she's only gotten more beautiful throughout the years. I think she's still hot. So I'm a Jane Seymour guy. So I'm not going to judge. Somebody says Samuel Elliott in the chats. Somebody says Keisha. I don't know who Keisha is. Or is it Kesha? Oh, it's Armory Knight saying Kesha. Okay. We're gonna die young. Okay, I could get down on Kesha. I could get down. Yeah, anyway. But yes, there we go. So I'm not gonna judge anybody on their celebrity crush. Everybody has a weird one. I think Adam Sandler is a weird crush to have, mainly because of 50 First Dates. Do you remember the egghead where she drew the egghead in the paintings in 50 First Dates? That's never left my brain. So when I see him, I see Egghead. Now, Tyler S. brings up an interesting one. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Tyler, I will say that I have flogged, frapped, skinned the chicken, whatever you want to call it. Probably more to Sarah Michelle Gellar when I was a kid than anybody else in the history. But when I was a teenager, do you remember Cruel Intentions, where she says, I'll let you put it where you want. Do you remember that? Oh my God. 14-year-old me? I disappeared for days. So he says Carmen Electra. Yeah, she's an oldie but goldie. Paula Abdul was one of my faves as well. Okay, so over and over and over, Tyler S says, yeah. I mean, is that not? Did you see Cruel Intentions 2, where she gets the girl on the horse and she's like up and down, back and forth, 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 and she has like, oh my, are you serious? Now listen, that was 14 or 15. Let me be very clear that was 14 or 15-year-old Eric, because if I did that now, that would be like that would be on the that's a good question too, is if you remember that from back then, but she's old now and I'm on, is that, you get what I'm saying there? Is that still weird? I'm pretty sure it's so. I don't think I would have the same turn on. It wouldn't be as appealing to me now if I went back and watched that, because they were like teenagers when they made that shit, which makes you then think, with these shows being rated R and only for adults, why are they making these very erotic 13-year-old sex movies for 18-year-olds and older? I don't know. But anyway, Eric says, we were roughly the same age back then. I was definitely the same age as Sarah Michelle Gellar, I believe, back in those days. So I think back then it was okay. I think now, watching those movies and being turned on by those same movies might be a little cringe. Anyway, so the only reason I bring this up was because Kamala's celebrity crush. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? As Michael Scott would say, Tito from the Jackson 5. I don't know. I think look, Jane Seymour is weird. I know that's weird. So I have no room to judge Kamala on her celebrity crush, but I definitely would not have picked it. Like if Ellen DeGeneres asked you 3 years ago when she was popular, she's irrelevant now, but when she was still relevant, asked you who your celebrity crush is, I don't know if I thought. I'm not sure that I thought that she would have picked Tito. But he is dead now. So underpaid producer's up in the chats. Underpaid producer, real quick, real fast, since you're here, let's keep you right here. Celebrity crush, go. Right now, celebrity crush, go. Also, if you had a celebrity crush when you were a teenager and she was in a teenager movie, if you then went back and watched the teenager movie and you're still a little bit crushing, is that weird? Like, would you go back? He says Selena Gomez. Is it the Selena Gomez when you were 18? You get what I'm saying? We already went through it. I don't want to re-explain it, but all I'm saying is Sarah Michelle Gellar and Cruel Intentions. I don't think I could go back and watch Cruel Intentions the way I watched it as a teenager. Cool. He says it's creepy as hell. I agree. I think it's pretty creepy. Like I said, no way I could go back. I haven't seen Cruel Intentions in probably 20 years, but I don't think it would hit the same, because then I would just watch it now and be like, those are like teenage girls in Cruel Intentions. So I don't know. Oh my gosh. So somebody says, Amber HHA says her teenager crush was the guy in Rocky Hit Picture Show. Are you talking about Frankenfurter? Are you talking about Frankfurt or are you talking about Rocky? I went as Frankenfurter a couple of times. There are pictures on my Facebook. If you really go back in the history of my Facebooks, and you will see me dress up as the transsexual transvestite from Transylvania. It's true. I really did go drag for Halloween a couple of times, and I may have done it for a few Rocky Horror Picture Shows. I would still do it again. I'm not up on this whole trans movement, or it's not even the trans movement, it's the the cross dressers. What are they? The drag show, the drag queens. On that same note, I was listening to Pop Culture Crisis, and this woman said that she got on an airplane and all the stewardess or the flight attendants were all dressed in drag. I haven't confirmed this, but I feel like if I got on an airplane and all of the flight attendants were dressed in drag, I would ask to get off of the plane. And I've dressed in drag and I've been to drag shows, but I'm not going to subject. That is something you do for entertainment in your own time and of your own accord. It's not something that should be forced upon you. If you want to go to a drag brunch or something like that with your 18-year-old or older friends and partners, you want to you want to enjoy that entertainment once every 5 years. Cause honestly, it's not that entertaining. It's like putt-putt golf. Like you do it once every 5 or 10 years and it's out of your system. It's not even it's maybe something you even do once or twice. Now, some people really enjoy drag shows. I think that, I don't know. I don't see that as being high quality entertainment in my own opinion. But maybe if you're from France, that's something you're into, but subjecting other people that might have different religious beliefs. Think about Muslims. How do you think a Muslim feels? You think that makes them feel a little uncomfortable? You know what I mean? Or even a Christian, because people don't care about Christians as much as they care about Muslims. We care about, most of society will empathize more with Muslims and make sure that they don't hurt a Muslim's feelings way before they will give a shit about a Christian. But anyway, Jake from State Farm is a sexy guy. So anyway, Tito, rest in peace. Kamala, I'm sorry for your loss. Your crush is gone. It would be like if underpaid producer lost Selena Gomez. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for your loss. Mike Dutcher says straight to jail. Mer 530 says that Amber's coming off a little thirsty tonight. She's got a lot of, listen, Amber H is never disappointed ever on this show. She's never disappointed when she's been in the chats. So I don't care. Underpaid producer says her wife has a crush on Billy the Exterminator. Huh. I don't know who Billy the Exterminator is. So, anyway, also in the news is for celebrity deaths, since this is all about celebrity society and culture, James Earl Jones. Now, here's a little point of contention for you guys in the chats. What do you think James Earl Jones's best movie was, in your opinion? Obviously, he's known for Star Wars. Maybe that's your favorite movie. It's not my favorite. It isn't my favorite. My favorite James Earl Jones movie is Sandlot. That's mine. But he's been in a lot more. What's yours? If you have one, let me know in the chats. Since I don't have anybody here in this thing. The Lion King. Yeah. What was he? Was Mufasa. Which Amber may or may not have killed Mufasa way back in the day, but yeah. And The Lion King was a great movie. Here's a fun fact, society and culture news fun fact. Eric Tanzi's first movie that he saw in the theaters by himself with a friend, where mom dropped him off at the theater, was Lion King. So there you go. I saw Lion King in the theater. All right, let's get into the real news. Come on, Eric, quit goofing off. Quit goofing around. Big story tonight, though, is going to be this whole Biden hat thing, which I covered on Fox FAWKES News. Very short, 9 minutes. Go see it. I have a different take than everybody else. I think you'll enjoy it. And then the real big news is this endorsement battle. That's what I really want to get into, is this battle of endorsements. That's going to be the most fun, but I want to skip through this really quick. It's premiering tonight, I believe, which is The Secret, Matthew Perry's The Secret Celebrity Drug Ring. TMZ investigates. That's tonight, 9 p.m. Central Time. So I guess it would be 8 Eastern. No, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, something like that. This is going to be good. Matthew Perry, The Secret Drug Ring. The reason why I think this is going to be a really good TMZ investigates is because it's now happened with Aaron Carter, possibly. It's happened with Michael Jackson, possibly. What do we have? Who's the female singer with the pale white face, and she overdosed? Trying to take me to rehab, and I said no. Anyway, you got her. You got there's so many. So I'm excited about this. And on the heels of this, on this TMZ investigates, Kelly Osborne actually came out and talks about rehab targeting addicts, as in way she puts it, one of the interesting facts, and I'd like to see her go more into it on the thing tonight. I will be watching it on Fox. Is that what she claims is that she has been to rehab, and she has been a few, and she has seen people who say, you will either give me Ambien or Vicodin to sleep, or I'm walking out. I'm leaving. You give me X or I'm out. And these rehabs don't want to lose their $100,000. So they end up giving it to them to save the money, even though they know that they shouldn't. Also, people, drug dealers wait outside of AA meetings to target the weak and all these other things. So if addiction is such a crazy thing. And it's such a part of, like, everybody has that one friend or knows somebody that's struggling with addiction. And we always want to know ways to help. So I'm listening, I'm all in on this thing tonight. I thought the Matthew Perry thing was very sketch and very appeared to be nefarious. So I'm excited to see the whole turnout of that. And I'll probably do a short on Fox News, maybe just like a 9-minute short on what I thought about that. So anyway, just something to look out for. All right, let's get into the big topics tonight, shall we? By the way, Kelly Clarkson, before and after. Remember we talked a few weeks ago about Ozempic, the Ozempic train? And I said that people will just lie. These celebrities lie. It's like steroids. Like, no, I'm not doing steroids. Oh, did we just lose me? Did we lose me? Hopefully I'm back. Listen, guys, we're having terrible weather. That's why nobody's here. We have terrible weather going on. Margaret says she was married to an addict for years. So there's some truth in that. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very powerful, very interesting docu-series that TMZ is going to put out tonight. So again, I'm in it. Mer530 says 3 buddies died last year from it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Everybody has a story. So it's going to be why, I think it's worth watching, and I think it'll be worth breaking down. But anyway, we talked a few weeks ago about the Ozempic, and we had athletes that are all in on steroids, right? And would never admit to it. Remember that when like nobody would admit to doing steroids? Like, yeah, right. The same thing happening with Ozempic. Kelly's kind of on that train, except she's like swears she didn't do Ozempic. She doesn't know what Ozempic, but she is taking another diabetic drug. So we know there's different forms of Ozempic. And then she also had the gastric bypass to lose weight too. And that I don't have a problem with any of it. I don't have a problem in it. I just think people should be more, especially celebrities, be more transparent about what you're doing to lose weight so other people can learn from it. Maybe, and I think it's very probable that people think, damn, you look good. I want to get on that train. But if everybody's lying about it, nobody knows if it works or what the hell thing or whatever. But I mean, that is a huge difference. I think she's hot both ways, to be honest with you. I think she looks pretty in both these pictures. So that's just me. Maybe I'm just a horny creeper. What do you guys think? Probably. It's probably what I am. Okay. I'm going to go with the Joe Biden hat story. And then I'm going to go into the celebrity battles for endorsements. So here we go with this thing. When I first saw this, I thought for sure 100 that this was photoshopped. Come on, Joseph. Oh man, if you're sleeping under a rock, if you're just listening, I apologize. But if you're just listening to this, Joe put on a MAGA hat at a 23rd anniversary, memorial anniversary of 9/11. And he did this at a fire station in Pennsylvania. And there's a couple of takeaways. And I encourage you to go back and watch my FAWKES News takeaway on this. And my Fox takeaway on this, and this might surprise you guys, actually. I thought, spoiler alert, and I play it in its totality on Fox News. That's why I'm not going to do it here. You can go to Fox and watch it in its totality, the whole thing, from him going and grabbing the presidential hat to giving the guy the presidential hat. But I'm not going to force you to do that. This is our long form news. I'm not going to force you to go over to my new channel for my short-term content. So I'm going to tell you everything that happens. So he does this speech, and in the front row is this gentleman right here. And this gentleman is wearing this bright red Trump 2024 hat. And at the end of the speech, Biden walks out and grabs an official, which I think is freaking cool. Whether you like the president or you don't like the president, having an official presidential ball cap would be pretty freaking cool. He goes and he grabs this presidential hat and he walks it over to the guys and he's like, hey, now I'll trade you hats. Let's trade hats. And the guy was like, really? You're going to give me, and this is an old man. This is a guy that's roughly the same age as Biden, roughly. I mean, this guy looks like he's been rode hard and put away. Like he's maybe working some of them coal mines in Pennsylvania, if you know what I mean. This guy looks like a hard, rough son of a bitch. He's even got the Harley Davidson suspenders. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he looks the part. So when he goes to give him the hat, old rough man, and this is like a banter that begins, and he says, "You gonna autograph it for me?" And Biden's like, "You want me to autograph it for you?" And Secret Service, damn, Johnny on the spot, dude. If this was a shooter and this was Trump, would not have happened this way, but it wasn't. This was a Biden moment, and so Secret Service was there. Whips out the marker. Biden signs the hat, and he goes, "But I'm going to need that Trump hat. I'm going to need that Trump hat." And he goes, "You want me to sign it for you?" He also, in this exchange, calls Biden an old fart. And then Biden goes, "Do you want me to sign this for you?" I'm sorry, I'm rewinding. This is a great video. You should please go watch it. Biden's like, "Do you want me to sign it?" The old fart goes, Do you remember your name?" And he goes, "No, I don't remember your name because I'm slow." He's like, "Yeah, I know my name," which I thought that was a hilarious tit for tat there. So then he's like, "Well, I'm going to need your hat." And then he's like, "You want me to sign it for you?" And Biden's like, "Hell no." Literally says it just like that. "Hell no." Takes the hat, and then everybody in the room starts yelling, "Put it on, put it on, put it on." And Biden does it. And then everybody cheers. Now, if you really want to think about it, when I said this and I played it on Fox, when everybody cheered, I don't necessarily know that they were cheering because they were Trump fans. I do think there were more Trump fans there at this Biden event, which is embarrassing enough. And it says a lot about what's going on in politics today. But what I thought was really special, though, was this handshake that happened. And this is the most humanizing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are grandiose thoughts. But I really thought that this was maybe the most human I've ever seen Joe Biden. I thought this was a beautiful moment. And I really did enjoy this. It was two old men with no politics, bantering with each other, talking shit, talking smack, being men inside of a fire station, rubbing elbows. And it ends with this. He's wearing the hat after Biden just put on, in good faith, I believe. Look at all the smiles. All the kids are smiling. The parents are smiling. And that you can see this guy's muscles flexing. This is a solid, "you've earned my respect" handshake. I don't think this was a moment where Biden was senile, or I don't think it's as hyperbolic as he's lost all of his marbles. And he has. Listen, he's lost his marbles, but I don't think in this moment, Biden was like, "Fuck it. I don't care about politics." And he went tit for tat with an old man in a fire station, just like the good old days. And I thought it was a very humanizing exchange. It's not getting the credit it deserves. And if I was in the White House, that's exactly what I would be selling. This would be one of the bigger points of seeing Biden on his way out. I mean, of course there's going to be memes, and your opposing politics are going to make fun of it. But if you really play it in its totality, this was a very sweet and endearing moment. And I'd like to know what you guys think. So hit me up in the chat. Maybe you're like, "Fuck him, fuck Biden." Listen, I'm just trying to be objective. But oh man, I don't know. You tell me. All right, we're going to jump into the big news tonight, which is the celebrity endorsement battle. I know you guys have all been waiting for it. I'm only going to make you wait a second longer because tonight it's raining really, really, really hard, which means I'm going to sleep really, really good on my Ghost Bed massage topper, on my Ghost Bed pillow, on my Ghost Bed mattress. I got Ghost Bed everywhere, baby. I don't know how you guys sleep without a Ghost Bed. Damn it. I don't know how you lay in your bed and have sweet, sweet dreams about your celebrity crushes, about Selena Gomez and Adam Sandler, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't know how you guys do it on anything other than a Ghost Bed. I don't know. I really don't know. But Ghost Bed has supported us from day one. These are American-made beds right here in the good old USA. Listen, maybe you can. Maybe you're a peasant. Maybe you're a middle-class peasant trying to survive, and this administration's, no, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to go there, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like prices are high, and maybe you can't afford a ghost bed right now. But you know what you can't afford? I promise you it's the best investment you've ever made in your whole life is that ghost bed pillow. Damn. I've got 4 now. They only gave me 1. I've bought 3 on my own. My wife swears by them. We love them. I travel with them every weekend. Of course I love my ghost bed. Like that's not even, I don't even need to sell you on that. Like, you know, but I'm saying like, you want that massage topper? I just had a jiu-jitsu competition yesterday. Won both matches, by the way, but I lost a few weeks ago. So take it when I can. Getting on that massage chopper at the end of a tourney, of a BJJ match, a BJJ comp, a BJJ tourney, whatever you want to call it, knowing that you have a massage topper to go home, win or lose, you have a massage topper to go home on, it makes me a fucking winner. It makes me feel like a winner. It really does. So head over to ghostbed.com. Also, factormeals.com/wolfpack50. Get you 50% off the first order. I'm talking about chef prepared, never frozen meals delivered right to your door. You want to get lean and mean? You want to get swollen jacked? You want to go vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free? I don't know. Whatever. Listen, everybody's got a diet. Everybody's got a diet. Factor Meals has got you covered so you don't have to go to the store. In the rain, in the monsoon hurricane. You don't have to go in the rain because I got Factor Meals being delivered every freaking Tuesday. And what's today? Monday. That means tomorrow I've got Factor Meals coming for a whole nother week. I got a couple of breakfast shakes to get me through when I don't have time to make myself breakfast. I got the little breakfast smoothies coming. I do the protein heavy, baby. 50 grams or more per serving. I do lunch and dinner. I got a bunch of lunch and dinners coming. And then I also order a couple for my kids. So when there's something happening, we all got to get out the door really quick. These things heat up in 2 minutes or less in even a peasant Walmart microwave that every first responder station across the country has in their offices. Head over to factormeals.com/wolfpack50 and get you 50% off. All right, let's do it. Let's get into this celebrity endorsement battle. I got off of the cruise last week. Turned on the social webs. I didn't have internet for like 9 days. And I see Elton John saying some real nice things about old DT, about old Donald Trump. And I was like, yo, what? And then The Rock. Do you remember? You remember that The Rock endorsed Biden and had some nasty things to say about Trump. Then in February, he walks back his endorsement for Biden. And now, wouldn't you have it? In the last week that The Rock starts saying all these nice things about Trump. Like Trump's, he used to come to my matches. One time, he came over and he said, Rock, give me the eye. Do the eye, Rock. I do a pretty good Rock eye, actually. You know, and he just had a lot of nice things to say. And I remember like 3 or 4 years ago, you couldn't say nice things. So I did a Fox FAWKES news special on this. By the way, The Rock also bought into, is it the WWE? I've been saying WCW, and I guess that's showing my age because that's gone now. But UFC, WWE, he sits on the board of directors for both of those. So obviously very conservative crowds, old Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yeah, wait, Wayne says Dwayne The Rock Johnson endorsed Joe Biden for president. Guess he never said. Yeah, he did. He did endorse Joe Biden. Are you saying he didn't? If you want to go to my Fox News, I break it all down. I even play the audio from that. So if you don't believe me, you can go there and look at all the receipts because I put it all out there. Also here, I'll just throw this one up there. I was actually listening to a podcast today that was talking about it. Now I had already talked about it. So this guy obviously did not steal anything from my brand new YouTube channel that has less than 200 followers on it. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying is he and I are on the same page, which I thought was, which was pretty cool. Let me bring this up. I wasn't going to show it to you guys, but let me play it for you. And you guys can go.
Man, is there some sort of cultural realignment going on? I do. Listen, my boy Benny, he posted something on X. Shout out to Benny Johnson, man. Is there a cultural realignment going on? Because even though people aren't saying, hey, I'm coming out and I'm endorsing Trump. And it'd be some heavy liberal like Elton John or something like that, which surprised the heck out of me, by the way, because Elton John and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson both had nothing but nice things to say about Trump. Ain't that something? I wonder how many relationships they ruined by speaking niceties about Trump, because you know that's a no-no. You were supposed to say Orange Man bad. You're supposed to talk very mean and derogative and disparagingly about Trump. But check this out right here, man. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are in.
So there you go. Man. So there you go. That was just another man's take on the whole thing. He was just as surprised as I was, and I was pretty shocked about that. So in 1 week, you had Logan Paul and Hulk Hogan on Logan Paul's podcast, and Hulk Hogan comes out and says, "I was afraid to be a Trump fan, but after that assassination attempt, I'm all in, and I'm going to be more boisterous about being all in." Logan Paul was like, "Yeah, I endorse Biden, but now I'm on the Trump train. I can flip." And so he goes out and he admits it. So in 1 week, you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson saying nice things. He didn't endorse Trump, but he said nice things and it went viral. Elton John, same thing. Didn't endorse Trump, but had a lot of nice things to say about Trump. A lot of nice things. And I play it on the FAWKES News. I put it on there. Here, look, I'll show you the actual episode of that for you. It's this episode right here. Did The Rock really just endorse Trump? 16 minutes long, but I play the clips so you can hear the receipts. It's not just taking my word for it. You can go to Fox News, click on this, 16 minutes, and you can watch it for yourself. Then you have Brittany Mahomes likes a tweet about a Donald Trump tweet, and that went viral. A lot of people were like, "Oh, what's going on, Patrick Mahomes? Why is your sister? Why is old Brittany? Why is she up in there? You know, what's going on?" And it was just like tons of pressure, tons of news, all the things, right? Or no, is Brittany? Hey, John, you're in the chat. Is Brittany Mahomes, is that a sister or is that his wife, by the way? Brittany Mahomes, is that sister or wife? I can't remember. But anyway, he'll let me know, and he'll let me know in a second for sure. But then it created a rift between Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes, who were kind of frenzies. And I'm going to read you an article real quick on this, on the Taylor Swift thing, show you the receipts there. And in the same week, Dick Cheney endorses Kamala. And I'm not sure. Kamala accepted the request. So I did another show on Fox about the importance and the severity and the seriousness of Dick Cheney. Now, this was a 19-minute podcast that I did on Dick Cheney endorsing Kamala Harris, because if you look at what the left absolutely hated and loathed and despised about Dick Cheney. Now, you remember, some of you guys remember the Dick Cheney Bush era. Dick Cheney is recognized and known as being one of the most powerful presidents. He was very instrumental in the weapons of mass destruction bullshit and the Iraq war bullshit, 20-year war bullshit. He also had all the stuff about Guantanamo Bay. He also had all the FBI spying and the TSA and all the things that the left absolutely loathed and hate. And I show you on that episode of Fox papers and articles from 2004 about the left talking about how crazy that Bush's right was. And if you look what's going on in the current administration right now, all of those things that the left hated about Dick Cheney, the left is doing right now. Scattering the Palestinians like birdseed, invading Iran, starting wars with North Korea, or allowing not allowing North Korea to continue on with their. You just go back and watch. I put all the receipts. I read it all to you, and I really just don't want to get down in the weeds now because it's too hard for me to articulate in a short amount of time. You have to just go back. That's why I do the Fox News thing now. But I think that the left, once the Dick Cheney endorsement came out, I think they were like, oh, shit, that's not the endorsement we really, really wanted, because that's raising a lot of questions. because the internet, we need to stop the internet. By the way, Kamala also said that we need to regulate the internet from fake news, which we see how that's going. It's a very one-sided fake news thing here going on. But so they had to do something quick. So right after that, Taylor Swift endorses Kamala. Thank you, God. Thank God for Kamala Harris. That is just the distraction we need. And so they wanted more. The left needed more this week. And so Joy Behar goes after Usher. But this is what I love. I love this battle. Like I said, Lil Pump went after Taylor Swift. A bunch of other people went after Taylor Swift. All the memes of Taylor Swift of like, you've written 1,000 songs about how you make bad choices in men, but we should trust your choice on presidents, all that, the tit for tat. So here is Usher, who I'm like, Usher's voting for Kamala for sure. Like he just got back with doing some charity work with the Obamas in Cuba, all these things. Like in no way is Usher a conservative of any kind, nor do I think Usher would ever support Donald Trump. But I think this is interesting on how he answers this question. And it shows you that the celebrity endorsements may not be as good for celebrities as they think it is. And I think Usher is very smart. I think Usher is one of the smartest businessmen, the smarter R&B rappers of his time. I think he did a brilliant job. And of course, that's why he's so ultra conservative. But here's how smart celebrities versus dumb celebrities kind of handle politics. Here's two pretty damn smart celebrities. And I think other celebrities, in my opinion, should probably take note and handle politics this way, unless they are extremely political savvy and they're willing to articulate and talk about what policies they actually are endorsing instead of coming up with some woman of color excuse. Like it's a poor excuse to vote for somebody because they're female and they're a woman of color. Let's take a look at what Joy Behar asked Usher and how he responded, and let me know what you guys think if he answered it correctly or not. Let me know.
After the assault on the old guy last night, do you feel sorry for him or at all?
You know what? I feel sorry that I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was actually performing at Barclays and felt a little irresponsible to have 14 people's undivided attention on something that they really should have been focusing on, which was the debate. I mean, it's been a lot of talk this morning, huh?
But you know, Taylor Swift has now endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And she was very, I thought, very smart the way she did it. It was like, you do your research and you decide for yourselves, but a single cat woman, as she points to, I am voting for Kamala. Do you think, I always say that in this emergency that we're in, I think that the Who's artists should come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics. I didn't get a chance to watch the debate last night. I obviously have been watching like everybody else. I think voting is an individual choice. And I think that you're right. You have to look at the reality of the country that we are and the country that we want to be, and find the candidate that you feel both are who fits the category of where we want to be. And that's it. And that's what you vote based off of, who you highlight and how you choose to highlight it on whatever platform you have is your prerogative.
Yes.
I'm not sure that that's the response Joy Behar wanted, because she was like, he's an existential threat to democracy, which, come on, like, you guys, like, listen, you can have that take on it, but also remember that you are endorsing a woman who never got the vote from the DNC, which, if I'm a Democrat, that's going to piss me off more than anything in the whole world, is that you selected somebody without my vote. I mean, it's really not the way it's supposed to work. When you talk about democracy, that's not how democracy works, but I guess it does now with the current left. So anyway, here's Patrick Mahomes answering a very similar question. Again, the media really wanting these celebrities to endorse Biden, especially after the week of having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson making headlines, or Elton John making the headlines, names like Hulk Hogan making the headlines. And now they're like, oh God, all we have is Dick Cheney, which isn't a good look. It's not a good look if that's your endorsement. Like, honest to God, I can't think of a worse person to endorse someone. If Dick Cheney endorsed President Trump, I would be questioning my vote for Donald Trump. Honestly, God, because I hate the military industrial complex. And it's so apparent to me that it is in control. And now that the military industrial complex itself is endorsing Kamala, and we know that Kamala's not running the country, and neither is Joe Biden, respectfully, because she's on campaign. Respectfully, she cannot be run. I'm not saying she's incompetent or she's not fit to run I'm saying she can't campaign and run the country at the same time. That's impossible. And we know Joey's not running the country. So is it the industrial military complex? I believe it is, personally. But having that endorsement from Dick Cheney is not a good look. And so the big media, the big government media is just reeling it like, hey, we've got to get some more celebrities on board. And so now they're going to go this weekend after Patrick Mahomes. Listen, and again, Usher, not a Trump fan, but he's also not an idiot. He also knows that he's not going to sell more records because of his endorsed Kamala openly. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to sell more records. He will sell more records by staying neutral and just being an entertainer. That's good business on Usher's part. Mahomes isn't going to be closer to the Super Bowl dividing his team by openly making an endorsement of a politician. Let's listen.
Football, but former President Trump referenced you and your family again today on Fox News in relation to his campaign. I just wonder what your reaction is to seeing that.
Yeah, I think I've always said I don't want my place and my platform to be used to endorse a candidate or do whatever. Either way, I think my place is to inform people to get registered to vote. It's to inform people to do their own research and then make their best decision for them and their family. And so I think that's every time I'm on this stage and I get asked these questions, I'm going to refer back to that because I think that's what makes America so great.
I think it was important, though, I don't know if important is the right word, but when you were at the U.S. Open this past weekend and you guys were there with Taylor and Travis, I mean, is that an important image to show that, you know, people who may have different philosophies can...
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always, even dating back, I think if you've seen my history, I've grown up with people from every aspect of life and every background. And I think the best thing about a football locker room and kind of how I've grown up in baseball locker rooms, everything about that is people can come together and achieve something and achieve a common goal. And I think if we can, I mean, we talked about it a while back, but I think if we can do that as a nation, I think we can get the best out of each other. And so I think that's something that I do every single day. And whenever I'm hanging out with whoever, I'm not thinking about their political views or anything like that. I'm thinking about the people and how they treat other people. And I was with a lot of great people this weekend.
Have you ever thought about specifically?
So there you go. I think both of those, that's two very professional guys who were kind of at the top of their careers. I think that is a good take, unless you are overtly a political, like if politics is your thing, like it's become my thing. I really like politics. I like reading about politics. All of a sudden, that's why I started the Fox News, where I could start giving my political takes, because I think I've been studying politics for about almost 2 years now, a year and a half. I've learned so much. I still don't know everything, but I have a really good time giving my hot takes and looking at the totality and kind of looking at things a little bit more objectively than kind of what propaganda media or news media is always trying to ram down your throat, right? And getting into independent journalism and looking at what other independent journalists has to say versus what mainstream media has to say. I've had a lot of fun with it. Now, if you're that type of character, if you're really into politics in that way, I guess maybe similar to Sean Penn. You know what I mean? If politics is your thing, then that's your thing. But if it's not, and you don't have, and you're not using your platform to inform others, you're just doing endorsing because you don't like the other guy and you really don't know what you're talking about. It's not going to, is Taylor Swift going to sell more records endorsing Kamala? Or is she going to sell less? Rumor has it now she's down 130 mil. Now she's worth 800 million. So I don't know that she cares about the 130 million or if it's even true. But I don't think she sells more records with openly endorsing a candidate either way. Especially when it's almost 50-50. Like every poll right now is about 50-50. The average of polls right now are 50-50. So by endorsing one candidate, you're potentially losing between 40 and 50% of your fan base. And I don't know if that's a wise decision or not. Or your potential fan base. Let me say that. Your potential fan base. You're excluding, 10% aren't just going to give a shit. Maybe 20% won't give a shit. So then you could say 30% of your fan base, is not going to buy tickets. I don't know. You let me know. October 18th, comedy show. I probably won't do very much political comedy at the comedy show because it's going to be first responder heavy. So I'll be making a lot of first responder jokes, a lot of veteran jokes. I cannot wait to see when Margaret Owens comes up. I really hope she does open it the way she opened the last comedy show that I did with her. I thought that was brilliant. It was really funny. I don't want to spoil it for you. And then Jay Durrell, he's 82nd Airborne. So he's going to fit right in with this crowd. So I think we're going to put on one hell of a show for you guys on the 18th. And then, of course, the 9th. And then we have the live podcast right after at Tactical Brewing. So it's all in one place that night. And then on the 19th at Club 13 is Shell Shock Big Concert. And then kind of Podcast-a-Palooza will all be there. And then the after party that night, which will be at the Sheraton North at the bar. Sheraton North at the bar. So you really want to go. You really want to stay at the Sheraton North, and you want to hang out with us all weekend. It is going to be an absolute rager. And this is all the podcasts on the network. So Anti-Hero, Two Cops, One Donut, New York Finest Unfiltered will be there. Donut Shop podcast will be there. All the Failure to Stop guys will probably be there, except maybe John won't be there because he was actually accidentally in Florida a month early. So sucks for him, but maybe he'll make it. I don't know. Josh Deadleg will be there. I will be there. Jay Durrell will be there. Margaret will be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see some of you other guys there. If you haven't already, please head over to Fox, FAWKES News on YouTube, putting out about 2 to 3 stories every single day, or at least every other day. Any of the big pressing news, giving quick takes, factual, transparent news in 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes or less. Let's just say that 20 minutes or less news. And all right. So to roll out today's show, to end it out, to round it all out, because I like to go an hour. I don't have any friends. Let's take it back to the chats. And we talked a little bit. We have a lot of shows on this channel. So we do Society and Culture News on Mondays. Still looking to do another show on Tuesdays. We did True Crime. We don't do it anymore. We're looking for another show to put on Tuesdays. But one of the things that we do on Tuesdays is Two Cops, One Donut is live, and I'm usually on his show on Tuesday nights, or Deadleg when he has really great guests. So what I think we're going to just do is continue to encourage people to go to Two Cops, One Donut, except he hasn't had any. He's building a studio out. It is not done this week. It will be probably done next week. His whole studio. It's very nice building that he has. And so we will resume those Tuesday shows then, but it'll be on Two Cops, One Donut, but it'll also link to Failure to Stop podcast. Then we do political news on Wednesday, long form political news with me and Deadleg and other special guests. Thursday, a legal shift, all the sports news with John, who is probably the funniest guy on the network. John from Difficult to Look At Measures. Absolutely the darkest humor imaginable. And his show is incredible. So you want to catch a legal shift, especially if you're into sports. But it's more like true crimey in sports, comedy in sports. I don't enjoy sports, and I still enjoy a legal shift, if that makes sense. And then Fridays are big case breakdown. So this week, oh, you know what? We have a special guest Wednesday too. I forgot to a political commentator on Wednesday, but I believe this political commentator that we have on Last Call, which is going to be live at 10 a.m. This guy is going to give us his debate analysis, and he has written a lot of books, but he is not a Trump fan at all. So this should be very interesting because we do have a very large right-wing crowd here, but I think it is going to be awesome to learn his perspective and to see where he's coming from on Wednesday's show. And then on Friday, we have special guest Dexter Pitts from I Am Pitts podcast to come on and help us break down the Louisville hostage rescue that happened by a pharmacy. And if you haven't seen this video yet, it is bonkers, and this cop does a phenomenal job, an amazing job. This will give you a war boner harder than Corn Pop's boner for Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think it was Corn Pop that likes Sarah Michelle Gellar. Was it Corn Pop earlier that likes Sarah Michelle Gellar? If I'm wrong, you'll let me know. But or Will Cray's stiffy that he gets for I don't know who does he like? Joy Behar, probably. Will Cray's probably a Joy Behar guy. Probably his celebrity crush. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Great show. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Society and Culture News. Head over to Fox. Give it a subscribe. FAWKES. Lots going on over there. You can get a little bit more detailed out of each one of these stories over there. And they're really good talking points, guys. They're good talking points if you're if you're not political savvy and you want to learn politics. That is why I've created Fox, FAWKES, because I show you the receipts. I show you the evidence of where it's coming from. So it's not speculation. So it can't be fake news because I'm showing you and I'm referencing, whereas mainstream media doesn't do that at all. You just have to take their word for it. And oftentimes they're lying. I'm going to show that's the whole point of Fox. I show you, I spend a lot of time pulling the receipts and physically showing them to you so that you can learn politics and that you can have intelligence. And listen, I don't just sit there and bash one side or the other. I actually praised Joe Biden all day today on today's 9-minute show. So there you go. There you have it. Also, I didn't, I talk a little bit about Kamala. So anyway, what time Wednesday? That's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Corn Pop, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday on Hump Day. And that'll be a really good guest. And I'm sure he'll be pushing his book. And I can't remember, but he is a political analyst. And I think he's going to be interesting. But again, I let his publicist know that we're a pretty conservative heavy show. They want to come on. They don't care. She said, "Are you scared?" I said, "I'm not scared." "Are you scared?" "I'm not scared. I could care less. I could care less." Listen, we got 54 days to the election. You want to change my mind? Go ahead. Change it. I want to get it right. I want to get it right. If Trump is an existential threat, show me how he is the existential threat. Show me. Because I don't want to vote for somebody who is a threat to our democracy. But you haven't shown me yet. And also, you guys, your side, you have kind of done all the things that a democracy wouldn't do. Silencing folks, talking about taking away gun rights and then lying about it, which I show you all the receipts on Fox News, the actual comments. I'm doing a whole thing on Kamala tomorrow where I'll show you she says one thing and then she flip-flopped in the debate. And it's just blatant lies, but she doesn't get fact checked. Only Trump does. Again, you're not bringing me evidence. I'm bringing you evidence. So hopefully on Wednesday, this guy will bring something with him other than just hateful speech, right? Remember the gaslighting? The left's like, "Oh, it's so hateful." I haven't heard anything hateful from the right. It's always the left making fun of the right. It seems like, at least that's from my perspective. So show me the receipts. But yeah, that should be a really fun show. Hope you guys like it. We'll see you guys over on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see you over on Fox. Get ready for that big Kamala episode. I've pulled 1,000 clips for that one. That might be a 15 or 20 minute because I have to play all these clips, but it's hilarious. I mean, it is really, really fun. I have learned so much about Kamala in the last 8 hours today, pulling clips from all over the place. My head is like, I have never met somebody so diversely agreeable than Kamala Harris, and I will show you those receipts probably tomorrow because it's getting kind of late tonight. So head over to Fox, get ready for that. That'll be out tomorrow. It'll be out early. All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.